It's just a couple basics here. Okay. So you have your handle. You can change your handle. You can change the diaphragm inside here. Your vacuum breaker also. Why is there a vacuum breaker on here?
Suction.
Yeah, but for what?
Equalize the pressure.
Yeah, vacuum suction.
Well, as soon as that drains out, it's supposed to stop the water from continuously flowing.
No, the diaphragm will stop it from flowing. But what do you think a vacuum breaker does?
Raises the vacuum.
Thank you, Eric.
Hello, it's in the freaking name.
Why did you say right away?
Explain that. Explain what it means. Besides the name, explain it.
Why are you giving him shit for getting it
Because I'm
right?
in a bad mood. He just says the name of the thing and everyone claps.
Says the guy who's been late consistently.
Go ahead. I'm at such a low right now. Keep going.
So, we'd want to break the vacuum if siphoning occurs in the system, because once water has passed through here, we don't want it coming back up because it could contaminate, all right? So the vacuum, this part here, and it's rubber, so it breaks down over time.
So anytime we're working on a urinal, this is right away what we're opening.
Depends where it's leaking from.
Okay.
So the vacuum breaker will leak from here. You take it out, you put in a new one. The vacuum breaker allows the water to go through.
Is it just like a cartridge?
Okay, you know how many jobs I've gotten because plumbers do not want to touch this or don't know how to touch this? And you guys who are listening are going to take the job from these guys who aren't listening.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Ralph's.
No, Eric, you want to take the job so well.
Eric,
So many
stop
plumbers
talking.
out there do not know how to repair these and don't even want to know how. So they'll just lose a job and lose a client too.
That's good.
More money for me.
It's crazy.
That's good.
Okay? So your vacuum breaker allows the water to go down but won't let water to come back up. So it'll break the vacuum. You have your handle that you can change also, and you have your diaphragm on here. So if I have this fully open and I go to flush, the pressure is going to be crazy. It's just going to come out of everywhere. Okay, so you guys can control the pressure that's coming out by closing this valve a little bit. Some of the other ones have another one on here that can control the volume of water, so how much water actually goes into it. Newer ones, they just took it off. So if you guys need to repair this, you got to know how it works. This is just part of the housing.
Excuse me, Eric.
Inside
Oh, yeah.
here,
Eric.
what happens is you have an upper chamber and a lower chamber. So you see how this handle goes up and down, but inside of it, it's an actual rod that goes in and out. So if I go up and down, go up and down, it'll actually affect this guy. So you see how it just lifts a tiny bit? That's the whole thing that starts this whole process of flushing that happens, okay? So I can take this off. This is my lower chamber, and this is my upper chamber, which is this guy up here. This is my diaphragm. This gets hit by my handle. If I look in here, I can actually see that rod coming out and hitting it.
Okay, I see.
Okay? So what happens is, on my diaphragm here, this little guy here makes all the difference. Little tiny hole there. I need that hole to be open. Over time it gets blocked with calcium, debris, whatever it is. I need that little tiny hole here to stay open, because what happens is water coming in through here goes down and comes up through that little tiny hole. So as this upper chamber gets filled from this little hole here, it pushes this down onto here. So once it's filled enough and put enough pressure on top here, it pushes this rubber down, makes a seal, and stops the flush. This is all being pushed down. As soon as this breaks, this gets popped up here, it breaks the seal, water comes rushing down, you have more pressure underneath than you do have on top, so it lifts up. Once it lifts up, it allows water to go that's filled in here into here and make the flush. as water's going into there, the whole cycle starts over, more water comes on top. As soon as you have enough water on top, enough pressure, it pushes back down onto it, stops that seepage. And that's the whole cycle. So, some of these are made out of rubber, some of them are made out of leather.
Leather.
Yeah,
Leather,
they're
yeah.
both as good. The thing that you have to remember is if you don't want to change this whole piece, you need to sand this guy down and make sure that he's actually open. Because if he's blocked, no water will come on top and push this back down and make that seal so it'll keep on flush.
So the water comes from.
Yep.
That's just enough water to push that.
Exactly. Yep. At the same time, allowing enough water to make it flush. Cool. So some of these flush valves have a piece on top, and what they'll do is you can play with it. Obviously, the higher it is, the more water will come here, allowing this to go higher, which will actually send more water down. If I have the screw all the way in, this will only pop up a little bit, only allowing a certain amount of water going down. Now the newer ones don't even have that, you can't even control that. The only thing you can control is the pressure coming through here. Because a lot of the places, this is commercial, they have high pressure. If you have this all the way open, whether it's a urinal or a toilet,